boys, it's Dan. Welcome to a very special but midweek Premier League.
Time to take your seat.
You'll never stop this thought. I will never let you go. But who am I to say? Maybe by now you should know. You got your somebody calling, you think you're somebody, don't you? I think you're scared of keeping somebody close.
Manchester City, the kings of English football.
We've got game week 27 of the Premier League. We had some topsy-turvy games in game week 26. Find out what happened in game 26 and a lot more in a moment. Boys, if you want a discount on your energy, go and get my discount in the description. New Dan 10 at checkout. Peace. Yes, we have twists and turns in game 26. And we're starting off with Brighton and Hove Albion versus AFC Bournemouth. Now, Brighton and Hove Albion did beat Southampton on the weekend very comfortably, and they play against a AFC Bournemouth team who had a defeat to Wolves. That's something I did not expect to see. Wolves beating Bournemouth, but in this game, I'm going to say it'll be 2-1 to Brighton. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we have Norm for this game week. He'll be going now.
And welcome to my prime predictions for game week 27. There's many great games in this game week, but I'm going to start with played at the same time, 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday, is Brighton versus Bournemouth. Both teams come into this game with 3 wins and 2 losses from the last 5 matches. This for me a very good game, because these are teams with a similar level, and you can see that on the table, which is 3 points separating them. And for me, Bournemouth of course have been more impressive this season with their star players like Hoysen, Kerkesh and Semenyo. But Brighton, of course, also have the quality with Mitoma and João Pedro, and other key players like Baleba and Yassin Ayari impressing me. I think, even though Bournemouth have been good, I think Brighton will continue their recent good form, especially Mitoma, who has scored in his last 3 games, and I think they will close the 3-point gap to just goal difference with a good 2-1 win at home.
Now we move to an informed Palace versus informed Aston Villa. Now, Aston Villa played against Chelsea and came from 1 goal down, thanks to Marcus Asensio scoring 2 goals, both assisted by Marcus Rashford. Chelsea took the lead early through Enzo Fernandez, but Villa came back with their resurgence to win it. But Palace did beat Crystal Palace. They did beat Fulham. They have gone on a mini little one for Fulham, not Palace. I mean, Villa will have far too much. 3-0 Aston Villa. And Norm, what are you saying in this game?
With the first one, which is Crystal Palace versus Aston Villa. Coming into this game, Crystal Palace has been in much better form with 3 wins compared to Villa's 1 win in the last 5 games. But Villa have recently, especially against Chelsea, gotten a boost from their January signings with Rashford and Asensio playing particularly well. I think they will continue their good form and contributions and lead Villa to a tough 2-1 win.
Now move to Wolves versus Fulham. Now Wolves are slowly beginning to put themselves away from that relegation zone. There is a 5-point gap forming between Ipswich and Wolves. Now, is it going to be a case of Wolves doing well, or are Ipswich? Well, Ipswich needs to win all the last minute games, but to have any chance. But against a Fulham team that Wolves play are no slouches. Wolves 1, Fulham 2. Will be a close one, 2-1 to Fulham. And Norm, what are we saying in this game? We now move,
which is also played at 7:30, is Wolves versus Fulham. Fulham come into this match with a loss in their most recent game against Crystal Palace. That was after a good three-match win streak. Meanwhile, Wolves come into this with 2 wins and 3 losses in the last 5 matches played. This for me screams a scrappy, hard, tough 1-0 home win for Wolves. It will be a really tough game with Wolves battling with the tight match, with a match that has very few big chances created.
to Chelsea versus Southampton. I mean, Chelsea. What can we say? They've had a blip. One absolute howling weekend by Philip Jorgensen for Aston Villa's second goal was an absolute kamikaze. I mean, I'm not laughing at them. I'm just not trying to sound nice, but it was an absolute shitty goal to concede from Chelsea's point of view. But I mean, if they cannot beat Southampton, they are horrendous. I mean, they've lost. They need to get back. If they want to get back into European football, they've got to win this game. 3-0 to Chelsea. And Norm, are you agreeing with me, sir, or not agreeing with me?
The final game on Tuesday night is Chelsea versus Southampton. Both teams come into this game with a very shocking form. Southampton, of course, who are last in the table with only 2 wins leading up to this point, and Chelsea, who have 3 straight losses. I think Chelsea will bounce back against a team whose season is, if I'm honest, already over with an easy, comfortable 3-1 win. Palmer will finally, after his bad streak of 7 games without a goal or an assist, will play well with a 1 goal and 1 assist match.
Now we move to Brentford versus Everton. Now Everton drew to Manchester United. We'll get on to Manchester United and that absolute disastrous mess in a minute, but it was a Brentford team who put 5 or 4 past Leicester City. They are looking in the form of their lives, but like I said, David Moyes' Fulham at Everton have had a resurgence. I'm going to go with draw. I'm going to go with 2-2 draw between these two. I mean, at the Brentford, there's always goes at Brentford. And Norm, what are you saying in this game?
The game is Brentford against Everton. Everton are in better form coming into this game with only 2 losses in the 8 Moyes managed since Dyche's sacking. Brentford, on the other hand, have also been good in their last 2 matches, winning them both. But Brentford, if you look at their match this season, are meeting the perfect match for them, which is a team which is, I know it sounds weird, right, but which is a team that are below them, because if you see all their losses, they can't take away points from like the big teams. Sometimes they have done from, like, for example, a 2-2 draw with City, but most of their losses come against a big team. So I think with it being a lesser team and with them being good at their at the GTEC Stadium, they will win 3-1 with Brian Mbeumo having a brace.
We now move to Manchester United versus Ipswich Town. Now, if you all remember, this was Ruben Amorim's first game in charge of Manchester United, was against Ipswich. We potentially have another injury. Nozlan Mazrali could be ruled out of this game with an injury he picked up against Everton. About the Everton game, we were 2-0 down inside 25 minutes. And then a free kick from Bruno Fernandes and a sensational goal from Manuel Ugarte got us at level. Then former Manchester United player Ashley Young got a penalty, which was then overturned by VAR because he apparently he dived, basically, cheating man. I mean, against an Ipswich team who needed the points, got smashed 4-1 by Spurs on the weekend. What we're going to say, Ipswich, we have to win this game. We have to win this game. If we stand, we are not winning. We're not getting anywhere near Europe unless we win Champions League or the Premier League. No, unless we win the Europa League or the FA Cup. But that's to come. This game's first, 2-0 to Manchester United. And Norm, as a fellow Red, what are you saying in this game?
Let's go over to the 7:30 matches on Wednesday night. The first one is my team, Manchester United, against Ipswich Town. Both teams this season, if I'm honest, have played bad coming into this game with bad confidence and form. Ipswich, who has somehow still not won a game in the league in 2025, will play well against this United side, who, if I'm honest, can lose to anyone, which team, even Southampton, they struggle against them. So I think they will have a good game by their own standards. But even though United can get beaten very easily by any team, I think they will somehow again scrape it as they did against Everton, with Fernandes rescuing us with 2 goals in a 2-1 scrappy win.
We now move to Nottingham Forest versus Arsenal. Both these teams lost. Yes, Arsenal lost. Forest lost. Forest got played anything game in the park of 4-3 against Newcastle, who've had a major hiccup in their top 4 pursuit. But this game could determine which way the league title goes, because if Forest win it and Liverpool win, the gap is 14 points. If Arsenal win it and Liverpool win it, it's still 11 points. So this game could have a huge bearing on which way the league goes, or draw even. A draw is still not good for either team, but if you're Forest, a win for you and a defeat for City or Newcastle would be ideal for you right now, because both those teams are chasing you as well behind, and Villa and Bournemouth as well. This top 4 race could not be more interesting. That's now our next thing. League is gone. League start over. Forest Arsenal. I'm going to go 2-1 Nottingham Forest and heap even more pressure and on Mikel Arteta and put Arsenal down. And Norm, what are you saying in this game?
The third of the 4 games at 7:30 p.m. is also a big and entertaining one, which is Nottingham Forest against Arsenal. This is a very huge game, as I previously mentioned. It's second against third in the table. Surprisingly, both coming into this game with losses against respectively Newcastle and West Ham in their their last matches. And this is also a fun match because this is a match between two of the best defenses in the league. I think with the fact that this is two very stingy defenses, and that Arsenal, without Saka, if I'm honest, can't create or score goals, lead to a cagey and a very entertaining 1-0 win for Forest.
To Tottenham Hotspur versus Man City. Now, these two always seem to play out very entertaining, very entertaining fixtures. These two teams do. Man City, they always seem to score goals. 3-3 between Man City and Tottenham Hotspur. But we know Spurs are always good. We know Spurs are always good when they come to play Man City. And Norm, what are you saying in this game? Now,
the second game, which is played at 7:30 p.m. on Wednesday night, is a really good one in Spurs against City. City go into this game in a bad way with two big losses against Liverpool and Real Madrid, where they got really outplayed by Madrid and they got taught a lesson by Liverpool. A good reason for their struggles, particularly in their last two games, is with Haaland being injured. You can clearly see in their game that they have been missing that vocal point, with Marmoush, of course, coming in, but not being that kind of a lone striker, target man that Haaland is. Tottenham, Spurs somehow come into this game with better form and confidence, even though they are having somehow an even worse season. They have gotten two very important wins in their last two games against Ipswich and Man United. Of course, they have not only gotten wins, they also have many players returning from injury, like Vicario and Udogie, and some losses important, but like Odegaard. I think with Spurs playing better, having players back, and City with them being just City's like bogey team, I think they will win 2-1 with Kulusevski running the show.
Move to Liverpool versus Newcastle. This is the stage one of the FA Cup, the League Cup final, because these two play each other in a couple of weeks' time, or in the EFL Cup final at Wembley. But first of all, Liverpool have to get past them. But Liverpool, as we know, they absolutely brushed Man City apart on the weekend. 2-0 they win it. I mean, it was just 2-0, but it was comfortable to win though. And now Newcastle put 4 past for this, but I mean, Isak's penalty was naughty. That goal, that end was naughty altogether. I'm going to go Liverpool to win it 2-1. And Norm, what are you saying in this game?
Final game, and the biggest one for me, is Newcastle, who are visiting Anfield to take on Liverpool. Both teams won in the most recent game week in huge matches against City for Liverpool and Forest for Newcastle. Liverpool come into it, of course, being better, with them being first in the table, which a huge difference of 11 points of second place Arsenal. This game for me is a match that screams goals, with the two last matches from them ending in 6 goals combined, with 3-3 the last, and the one before that ending 4-2 for Liverpool. This will be a hugely entertaining, good to watch 3-2 win for Newcastle.
To the last game of the midweek, which is West Ham versus Leicester City. I'm going to keep this one short and sweet. West Ham 2, Leicester City 0. And Norm, what are you saying in this game? And
let's move on to the 9 p 8:15 games. with the first one being West Ham versus Leicester City. The last game went the complete opposite, with West Ham getting an impressive 1-0 win at the Emirates. Meanwhile, Leicester lost 4-0 at home against Brentford. Leicester has in their last 13 games only won 3, and if I'm honest, they will continue their shocking, horrendous form and season, getting beaten 3-1 easily by West Ham. This, as I mentioned earlier, this will be a very easy game for West Ham, who will concede a late consolation goal in a very. That's it for all my predictions. Thanks for having me on. Bye.
That, ladies and gentlemen, will bring game week 27 to an end. Now, I will see you either Thursday or Friday, probably Thursday, for the FA Cup 5th, I think it's 5th round, FA Cup 5th round, where we have a lot more teams and one massive shock to talk about. But until then, what will happen in the Premier League? Will Liverpool's gap be 14 points? Which at that point you would say the title is over. What will happen in the top 4 ways? Will Newcastle, will Forest have a clearer picture? What is going to happen? Will Ipswich close the gap to those 13 above them? What will happen? I'll find all that out and a lot more in the next video, but I will see you on Friday. Doing a Thursday or Friday for FA Cup. So stay tuned for that. Goodbye.